does this improve at all the chances for a Bitcoin ETF this year? And what, if anything, will? You and I have talked in the past. There's a little bit of a political change in Washington. We have Gary Gensler now. I'm going to ask you, does Gensler being there improve the chances of a Bitcoin ETF, number one? And number two, the SEC laid out a very clear set of problems they had in rejecting prior Bitcoins, including the Winklevoss application twice. They rejected it, and they basically came out and made it very clear, we are concerned with fraud. We are concerned with custody issues. We are concerned about the fact that a lot of it trades overseas where we can't control any of it. Has there been any move towards curing those defects? Aside from the political change, are we any closer in addressing the SEC's issues?
Yeah, we're absolutely closer, Bob. Whether we're all the way there or not, I don't know, but we're absolutely closer. Look, when the Winklevoss first filed for a Bitcoin ETF back in like 2013, there were no institutional regulated custodians. Arbitrage spreads were all over the place. The CME Bitcoin futures market didn't exist. There weren't crypto funds that had gone through audit. The crypto industry, and we've been talking about this on the show, has gone through this massive institutional maturation. Every aspect of it has improved significantly over the past 5 years, over the past 3 years, and over the past year. Coinbase going public is just another part of that narrative. So absolutely, we're getting closer to a Bitcoin ETF. I continue to think it's a matter of when and not if, but we're not all the way there yet. The SEC has been asking good questions, and companies like Bitwise and others have been working to address those. But I do think we're getting closer, Bob. I really do.
So just to highlight this, I believe the SEC acknowledged the Van Eck application a couple of weeks ago. They've acknowledged, I think, Wisdom Trees as well, just the other day. So I think they have 45 days to accept, reject, or kick the ball down the road. My understanding is that they've always had up to 240 days once they acknowledge it. Is that correct, Matt? So potentially they could kick the can down the road for a while now. But your point is, regardless, you think it's much more likely this year. What about Gensler? You didn't answer that question. Is everybody seems to think Gensler is more sympathetic?
Well, what's great about
are you in that camp too? And that.
Well, what we know about Gensler is we know he's an expert on the space, right? He's taught a class at MIT on Bitcoin and blockchain. And all Bitcoin and crypto companies like Bitwise are looking for is a fair evaluation on the exact facts and circumstances of the market that exists today. So it's great that he's an expert, but really the questions that the SEC has asked over the last handful of years have been fair questions, and it's been the responsibility of companies to answer those. Like I said, fortunately, the market has matured rapidly that I think we have much better answers today than we did in the past. Does Gensler coming in help? I think it helps in that it's a new administration, a new fresh set of priorities, and that he's an expert on the space. But I don't think there's any magic sauce. The market has to be good enough, has to be institutional enough, has to be mature enough to support an ETF before the SEC green lights one. But the good news is I do think we're closer to that point today than we were in the past, and I really think we're getting there.